North Avenue 52.
Prepare to be fucked by the long dick of the law.
This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here.
Wee-woo, wee-woo, wee-woo.
You can't break those cuffs.
Make him away, Toy.
Welcome to Intercop, the only podcast where every week we talk about what's outraging the internet and then let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion. Broadcasted through the Thought Cops International Internet Radio Transmission Channel. Fuck 420. Coming to you on your personal cop scanner device. I'm Officer Grant reporting to you from the cyberpunk Neo district of Neo, Chicago.
And I'm Officer Kevin from Neo-Toyko. Quite literally.
Radioing in from an undercover reconnaissance mission.
That's right.
Yeah, how's it going out there?
Oh man, it's awesome, dude. I love it here.
This is a great time for you to be out there because I feel like there's a lot of video game based rage on the internet.
You know,
currently,
I always expected there to not be as much of a I always thought it was more of a niche thing. Like America would overhype the appreciation for that kind of thing here, but man, they dwarf us in terms of appreciation for anime and video games and stuff. They're just such a large amount of pride for their cultural exports. It's super cool.
Of cartoons, for children.
Well, no, think about it. We have Hollywood, and when you don't, it's kind of our thing. So
yeah, I saw you have there's manga in gas stations
everywhere. Outside of I'm staying in a capsule hotel in Shinjuku. For reference, I am currently walking around Shinjuku in Tokyo.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So to all of our loyal listeners, I hope that this sounds okay. But I wanted to get an episode out for you this week, and I thought this would be kind of a fun.
It's a unique experience.
Exactly. Let's get some fresh takes in here. I got some perspective. Now I'm a world traveler, and my personality has changed. That's pretty much all I'm going to be talking about from now on is travel and how people who don't travel are, to be quite honest, ignorant.
That's pretty epic.
Get ready for that.
So you had to forge your own sword. You grew a Fu Manchu.
Yes.
What else? What else is going on out there?
Well, currently I'm drinking, believe it or not, canned sake.
I believe it. Do they have that in America?
No.
No?
Yeah, no, my friend met this guy, the bar Ryusei, and he was like, yeah, you can buy sake in cans at 7-Eleven, and you can drink outside anytime, anywhere, and said it's totally fine.
As it should be.
I explained to him, I'm in Chicago, the people who do that usually drink it out of a brown bag and are peeing on the seats of the train.
Yeah, exactly. It's part of the culture.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So, man, but it's crazy. And this is the first conversation I've had with an American the entire time I've been here. So
all to call into your podcast too.
Yeah. I thought it would have meant I had to explain to someone because they're asking, we were kind of just communicating. Me and different people I've met, kind of communicating through limited because my Japanese is very limited and. Most
Naruto, Sasuke.
Yeah, right. Love those guys. Shout out to them. And but people are extremely kind, and they a lot. It's kind of funny how we just expect the rest of the world to know English. I know we've had several international guests on our show, and we're just oh, good, English. We just don't even bother to learn Dave's language of Swedish or whatever.
It's too many languages.
Yeah, it's crazy, but a lot of people here just know many different languages. But English is there's like English everywhere, man. Trying to think. See, I'm just walking around drinking some canned sake and just hanging out.
Cool. Let's real quick give a thanks to last week's guests, Lars and Joe from the first podcast.
The first podcast.
The first and only podcast.
Well, until ours, of course.
Yeah, we're the second podcast. That's how that works. Yeah, our episode has not come out yet, but we'll link it as soon as
it hasn't?
post
I thought
that.
it did.
I don't think so. If it did, I missed it.
Yeah, I'm way out of the loop, so...
Oh, well.
Yeah,
maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Go to thoughtcopspodcast.com and check for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think our listeners are smart enough to figure it out, so...
Yeah, I hope so.
And I was going to say, too, real quick, thanks for doing the intro. I would feel very rude screaming out in public right now.
Welcome to Thought Cops!
Oh, man, I'd probably end up in...
look at this fucking
prison.
White guy screaming.
Right.
How fucking stereotypical.
That reminds me, I have a very important anecdote to tell you. I might have already told you in Discord, but just for the listeners' sake. So I've been traveling around. I was in Tokyo. I went to Kyoto. I went to Osaka. Now I'm back in Tokyo. And when I was in Kyoto, I went to for a long walk down the river to visit Nintendo HQ. For my soy points.
Yes.
And so I got there, and I mean, it was like, first of all, I mean, chills down my spine when I saw it. I was just like, man, think of all the stuff that happens in there, you know, all the crazy, you know, Mario and Ness, Kirby, you know, the whole gang. So all of
my friends, all of my best friends,
all of my closest personal friends. So I was taking a picture. Like, I took a normal picture, but then I took like I brought my Switch with me, my backpack, and I'm like, I gotta take the soy boy photo in front of the Nintendo HQ, you know. And as I was taking it, luckily this somebody was taking the photo for me, who somebody talked to on the street. And as I was taking the photo, like holding the Switch up and then just making the big soy boy face, a bunch of Nintendo employees were walking out of the building, and they just like stopped and were watching me, and they just started laughing.
Do you think they were laughing because you looked like an idiot, or do you think that they were like in on the joke of the soy boy meme?
I think that they were very much aware that I was being ridiculous, but they were also, I mean, they're probably like, oh, this goofy guy, you know, came across the planet and he enjoys our products so much to take a silly photo in front of our building. So, but I like to think that I've introduced Nintendo to the soy boy meme, and I think that we can officially stop doing it now, because I don't really know how anyone could take it further. So, thanks to me.
I guess Paul Joseph Watson doesn't have too much of a following out there.
Is he into that?
I think he's the one that sort of popularized the soy boy thing.
Oh, but like there was a whole, but the specific angle of like Nintendo with it, like for the Switch, yeah.
I don't know who did that.
Just some guy with like ratty facial hair and a creeping receding hairline.
I can't wait for the Did You Know Gaming episode on the soy boy meme.
Yeah, it'll be my photo on there. Yeah, did you know? Either on there or the news. So sorry, go ahead.
Any other stories from this, or should we move on to some 2 minutes of hate?
There's a lot to say. I mean, like I just walked by some Namco Cade over here. I don't know. Yeah, just I guess I'll interrupt the show at some point if I think of anything else. So
is every store out there an arcade?
Half of them, pretty much. I mean, there really are a lot.
There was like a bar that was that I saw where there was a bunch of Nintendo consoles and stuff like that. That feels like a thing that'd be sort of like a mainstay as opposed to a hipster bar. You know?
No, it is like kind of in America, that's what it would be. But here, it's like just very wholesome. And like I made friends with the owner of the bar. We're just like playing Super Famicom. And we're just like talking back and forth on the Google Translate app, just typing sentences back and forth because neither one of us could speak the other language. But it was like, you know, really cool. So,
that's interesting.
Anyway,
let's move on to 2 minutes of hate. Is there one specifically you're seeing out there that is related to the show in any sort of way, or anything you've seen?
I'm trying to think.
Sort of pulling you back into reality.
I've had a couple of stray observations. I didn't know that apparently autocorrect on your phone changes depending on what region you're in. So now it's like, maybe in America when I'm trying to type fucking, it just changes to ducking. And then here, I'm typing that, then it changes to just kanji. Like, oh shit.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had a similar thing. I was writing something, and I was trying to write the word retarget, and I don't even want to say what it changed, what autocorrect changed it to, but
we'll get to that. I'm sure. Yeah,
you can imagine.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
That was it. I've been taking a brief reprieve from internet. I would say the nice thing is I think while I was here, there was at least a 24-hour period where I didn't hear the name Donald Trump, which is
Trump.
It hasn't happened in at least 3 years in America, so it's much needed.
It's pretty good.
Then I go on Twitter, and it's like people are arguing about Bernie Sanders being mean because he's on Fox News or something, and I'm like, all right, no more no more apps.
Man, that's every time I go out, every time I go overseas, I just turn my phone off, I put it in my backpack, and I just enjoy life the best I can.
I mean, I'm out here by myself, which is really cool, just because you can kind of do whatever you want whenever you want. But at the same time, obviously there's language barrier, so I'm like, I got to talk to somebody at least.
Absolutely.
But this is the first verbal conversation I've had with an American the whole time I've been here. So
it's probably for the best.
Yeah, I would say so, at least for now. But I love talking, so I got to get it out of my system. So I apologize to the listeners if I'm rattling off a bunch of.
Always got to be podcasting, man. That's the life.
Yeah, always be posting, always be podcasting. APP
stands for a lot of things. So was any other 2 minutes of hate or anything?
Man, I'm trying to think of specific things. I guess I don't know, man. So much is just different here, and some of the stuff I wanted to talk about is related to some stories this week, which I've had the unfortunate pleasure of having to be privy to. But I just think out here, it's people are not inventing things to get mad about, which is a good thing. I guess when you kind of get away from American culture, sometimes you kind of think, man, sometimes people just want to be sad and angry all the time for literally no reason. So
yeah. I can definitely, some of the stories I'm looking at for this week already, I'm just like, man, it's exhausting. I don't know.
So I guess just to keep it simple, the only thing I can really complain about here is the freaking autocorrect. I'm trying to speak English, and they're, they think I'm speaking something else. So what will my punishment be? I don't know, man. I guess I got to learn a language. That's on me.
Yeah. That's your punishment.
That's my punishment, yeah. But I don't know. Some people were talking about there's some kind of hearing aid devices you can wear to translate languages. I'm sure that'll be more common in the future, but
like they do at the UN.
Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
I don't know. They're always wearing something. They always have some sort of headphone device. I actually don't know if that's automated or if that's someone translating in the moment.
Okay.
I actually know nothing about it. I just know that they wear a hearing aid thing.
Last night I was at a bar, and I was a few people who majored in English. I was hanging out with them, and there was people I was talking to who didn't speak English. So it was kind of at a certain point, it was I was almost I was having a translator talk back and forth for me, which is kind of funny. Because I was talking to this boxer, and he didn't speak English, but we're going back and forth about just whatever casual conversation. And I would have my friend who was speak both Japanese and English was translating the conversation. And I was just kind of it's just kind of funny because how you react to things is you're reacting to what the guy translating saying it, but then you're not reacting to the person actually telling it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your 2 minutes of hate? Bring me back to reality.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. I think my 2 minutes of hate this week is I hate to fucking bring this guy back up. And this is probably another. You said you haven't heard Donald Trump in a long time. You probably also haven't heard Elon Musk in a long time, have you?
Yeah. Well, I know today I did. I was looking at his Twitter. I think you and I were both commenting on something.
Fuck. I usually don't respond to famous people unless I see that I'm like one of the first comments, you know?
Right.
But I've been just responding to everything he's been tweeting by telling him to shut the fuck up. He'll never see it, but it just makes me feel better.
Yeah.
His avatar on Twitter now is fucking
Edward Elric, right?
Edward Elric from fucking Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, why is that? I was wondering about that.
Because he heart anime. Elon Musk heart anime.
I mean, hey, me too, but chill out.
And he's doing that fucking like smug pose that Edward does, you know, like
yeah.
There's this one that I responded to. He said, quote, "Wake up, sheeple," and then the quote is said by sheep.
What? That's that's like almost as bad as Mike Huckabee's tweets.
Seriously, he tweeted another one. He just goes, "The internet is insane."
Oh,
hot fucking take.
That is so random, dude.
Yeah, seriously. I'm holding up my spork right now.
Epic spork of doom.
Lay epic penguin of spaghetti.
Oh man. Yeah, that sucks.
Just everything's so fucking bad.
He should. You know how people. I have my own punishment for this. You can rectify it if you like. But I was going to say, like growing up, I had a swear jar in my family. So I think I was saying bad words too much. So they're like, every time you swear, put a quarter in the jar. I think Elon Musk should have a random jar, or every time he says something stupid and random, he has to put $1 million in the jar.
He's self-aware, though, because another tweet he tweets out is, "My Twitter is pretty much complete nonsense at this point."
Yeah, I guess.
Mr. fucking Random.
It's absolutely...
so fucking self-aware.
Absolutely mental.
Fucking twisted. Yeah, no, I think that's a good punishment. I think we should move on. So if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories and sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and unusual punishment. Why don't we talk about this whole business of retargeting things?
Oh, yes. And I'm going to try to get away from some streets here in a second. I know there's a lot of cars and shit going by.
It's part of it.
The whole... This is kind of what I was alluding to before. People making things up to get angry. This is ridiculous.
So this whole story that we're about to get into, is anyone in Japan currently talking about it? Does anybody care?
I don't think anybody cares about this stuff here. This is a Western thing. Obviously, I wouldn't know for sure if they were, but I can't imagine that anybody...
You don't see like Japanese Fox News and like what's that guy's name? What's Mr. Potato Head on Fox News over there? What's Sean Hannity? You don't see like Sean Hannity with his eyes taped back yelling about the R word and how it should be acceptable, and there's too much PC going on in schools or whatever. You don't see that?
No, I haven't been watching.
Not in a bar or anything.
No, God no.
So the thing we're alluding to, this is an article from Kotaku of all places. I'm sure people have seen it. If you haven't, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's Persona 5 DLC includes a disability slur.
What are they saying? What, gamer? Is that the...
It never gets old.
Yeah.
This is by Laura Kate Dale, who I guess she's had other things. I think you pointed something out that she was in some other controversy, right?
Yeah, I know Nico was mentioning there was something in the line with...
Gamergate, right?
I don't know if it was that. I think like she does leaks and stuff like that, or people are like, oh well, Mother 3 might be coming to America. You never know. Just, I mean, that's the classic gamers rumor, you could say. But yeah, outside of that, I don't know. There was some other stuff. There's just basically any Kotaku employee is just like, I mean, in a way, I feel bad for them because, like, I mean, I do and I don't because, like, they could find another job if they wanted, but, you know, their job is essentially...
They can't. Didn't you see that Instagram star that had her Instagram deleted? And she broke down crying about it?
No.
Good. Forget I said anything. Don't bother looking it up. Don't pretend I didn't say it.
I'll try.
So this is what they heard. I guess they were listening to the track, or Laura Kate Dale was listening to the track, and she heard around 1:57. Yeah, it says
timestamp. Wow.
Here's the transcription of what they think that they heard. Hi, are you ready? Ready to pick up the pieces. Let's go. Let's play. Retarded. I can say it. Are you ready? Uh-huh. Like, let's
get retarded in here.
It doesn't even make sense in context. Like,
no.
You would just say what's the they don't even think to say, hey, maybe we're wrong about this.
This is my favorite kind of content online, or outrage content, is when someone is trying to pick up a social cause, but then they end up being far, far more offensive.
Yeah, because all this boils down to is the fact that a Japanese person was trying their very best to sing in English, and like, you're making fun of the fact that they can't pronounce things.
Hey, real quick, I keep walking by these vending machines, and there's like a picture of like Tommy Lee Jones on all of them.
Why?
I have no idea. Like, is he
really
he's like
that Men in Black movie?
I don't know. He's like it's like he's just modeling for it. I don't know, like some, you know, like that movie Lost in Translation.
I don't really remember it.
Okay, basically, yeah, I don't know. Just seems there's like
over there.
No, but it's just the same premise where he just like modeling for like some kind of whiskey company or like coffee or something like that. Suntory.
Oh yeah, because Lost in Translations, what's his name? Bill Murray, right?
Bill Murray, yeah. But anyway, sorry, Dan.
So Tommy Lee Jones selling used panties, huh?
Yeah, he's on every single station you can find. every 10 feet. That in games, manga games. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, like, you know. I
like manga. I read it every day.
Oh yeah, this Persona song. So the Persona 5 came out like 3 years ago or something, 2 or 3 years ago. And this song was in the game.
Yeah.
So why are they choosing to now get mad about it?
Because they're fucking uncultured plebs that don't know the true history of anime and video games.
Yeah, I do.
They don't have a refined sense of taste like you.
I'm in it. I'm in it to win it right now.
Yeah, you're technically an anime character.
That's right.
We both are.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah,
like I was telling you, I was explaining like what a podcast was.
Yeah.
And it was
were you wearing the podcast shirt?
Yes, by coincidence. I was at a bar and like I was like explaining, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, keep in touch. Here's my business card. Like, oh, Thought Cops. I'm like, yeah, and like I have my shirt on, like, oh. I think that they thought it was like bigger than it really is, but I was kind of like, I wasn't correcting them. And they were like, because like over here, there's like a comedy.
People start taking pictures with you?
No.
Oh man.
But you know, like, well, in Japan they have like comedy duos a lot. So he's like, oh, two men, like, I think it's like they call it like suke and boke, or I could be wrong, but because he saw the two of us on the shirt, he's like, oh, two men. I'm like, yeah, like, you know, check it out. You know, try. You know, I know he subscribed to our YouTube channel at the very least. So.
So that's what that notification was.
I thank you for revealing that we don't get many YouTube notifications. Oh, that was the one notification I got this week. Yeah.
We got to start posting more on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I get back, I want to kind of hit the ground running with more of the video content. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway,
so then, what's her name? Laura has a response to this. I guess she was tweeting out a bunch of stuff. I think she deleted all the tweets regarding this The most recent one is I'm going offline for a while. Don't know when I'll be back. Sorry, everyone. Hope everyone does okay. It's just like you did this to yourself. This is your fault.
Apparently, well, I guess it gets a little tricky because apparently Kotaku published the article without her consent. Like, so it wasn't like ready to go up, and they put it up, and she couldn't take it back because it was unfinished. But at the same time, it's like, you wrote this stupid article. Well, you know, like, they didn't, you know, like, you wrote it. Like, they published it, but you wrote it.
It's pretty stupid, yeah.
So, and then, like, at the end of the article, they're like, we've reached out to Sega and Atlas to confirm. And I'm like, they do not care about this. You know?
That'd be like me penning like a Medium article being like, is the N-word really that bad? And then just sort of like saving the draft, and then someone publishes it, and I'm like, hey, wait, but I didn't mean to hit send.
Right. He's like, hey, you committed it to pen and paper.
Moron.
Yeah, so
she's taking some self-care right now. Going offline for a while, gonna go take a trip to Japan to be a little more cultured.
I recommend it. Yeah.
And then they also Kotaku released sort of a retraction, but they didn't take down the original article, which is funny to me. But they said we screwed up with that Persona lyric, and then just sort of cleared the air. But it's just it's embarrassing. It's
embarrassing. And it's like offensive.
Yeah.
Like, it's I don't know, man. People need to like relax. Take a chill pill. You know? Yeah. Drop a little CBD oil on your tongue. Relax.
And drop it straight into your brain.
Hey, you're recording this on 420, isn't it, over there?
It's 421 right now.
Okay. I think I'm in the future.
Today is Easter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that. I guess nobody celebrates that over here.
That's unimportant.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense, right?
It's sort of like the forgotten about cousin of Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Right.
Like we already had those too.
I wasn't expecting anything Easter related in Japan, but like there's absolutely nothing. I didn't even know it was Easter.
Who needs it?
Right.
All right, let's move on to this is another
we got a Punisher.
Oh yeah. So what do we do?
Well, I think we kind of already come up with it. Actually, go abroad, basically.
Yeah, take some time off.
Log off. She got the right idea.
Yeah, you can do that before you post. Log off before. Right. When you feel like posting, log off of Twitter and then post as much as you want.
Log off and don't do it.
Yeah.
Some people should just have their abilities taken away.
You think that they should have their abilities taken away?
Yeah, probably not. I don't know how to phrase it. I don't know.
So you think they should be disabled?
Yeah. I don't see what's so wrong with that.
Speaking of differently abled people, certain people within certain universes, if you can call them people, don't always have arms. But as we've learned from Joe Piccone on Twitter, Goombas have arms. Did you know that?
No, this is new to me. I didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't know. You're not like walking around following Goombas around, looking behind their bodies where they hide their arms, sort of. Like
I'm usually killing them for points.
The genocide of the Goombas.
Yeah, that is me. My bad.
The Italian genocide. So people were losing their minds about this on Twitter.
What? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh my god, Goombas have arms. It's one of those like cheap like third party knockoff like little figurines that he got from probably one of those things where you put in 25 cents and the guy had little arms behind his back.
Gachapon.
Yeah, something like that.
So people are going nuts about this, huh?
Yeah,
I don't think that's canon, because if it was some third party knockoff figurine, I don't know. I would have to see it,
This is pure conjecture.
Yeah.
It's big news, though. This is bigger news than the Mueller report.
Sorry, kind of loud. 1 sec.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So what is this? Is this making the rounds on CNN or what?
Yeah, this is bigger news than the Mueller report right now. It's up there.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks, man. I don't know. I would like to. I could always go back to HQ and ask myself, but yeah, I don't think they're. I couldn't even get into the parking lot. I couldn't even get into the parking lot. It was like one like older man was a security guard. Like as soon as I was like 20 feet away, I saw him like speaking into like a mic. I was like, oh man, I feel like such a creep.
Some terrifying stuff. What else are you gonna do though? They probably saw you. They looked at you. They're like, oh, it's one of these.
Yeah. I can't imagine that's the first time that anybody's done that.
All right,
you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on to this. This isn't the country you're in right now, so whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know. You must have seen the Notre Dame Cathedral burnt down in France. This is
Yeah,
big
that happened.
news.
That happened when I was on the flight over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got off and I'm like, everybody was still, like on the plane. They're like, oh my god, the church burned down. What have you? They weren't.
Like,
I don't know. Sorry, I'll shut the hell up.
it's like really not that big of a deal either. Like it looked bad, and then I think most of it's fine. They're gonna rebuild like the roof. It doesn't fucking matter.
Well,
But,
at the time, I think that like it wasn't contained yet. So
yeah. So there was the worry, but I think all of the important shit, like the windows and shit like that, ended up being fine, and nobody died in it. I don't think.
Okay. Yeah. How did that? Was it? I mean, my first thought was like it was like a active like hate or violence or something, but apparently,
I don't. They were doing construction on it. And I guess something fucking happened. Something sparked up or something.
I thought maybe the cow knocked over the lamp or whatever. Chicago fire situation.
Yeah. The Irish immigrants.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that there's like a sports team and a TV show called Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
But like, it's kind of a tragedy.
Yeah, a lot of people died in it.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was a long time ago. Who cares? Basically.
Yeah, you separate yourself up. You separate yourself enough from anything, and it's like, I don't know.
Time plus or tragedy plus time equals epic, haha, funny.
Thank you, Elon Musk. So anyway, speaking of Twitter, I think you actually retweeted this from the Thought Cops account. What's the woman who wrote the fucking Two Hot Girls or whatever the fuck it's called? Two broke girls. Yeah. Whitney Cummings tweeted something out that was like, this is a great chance for everyone to share their vacation pictures or something like that.
Basically, everybody has an anecdote about the time they visited France.
Yeah.
And it's like, people always like to personalize stuff. And I don't think that's like a bad thing. It's just kind of like perspective. But it is funny because I can't tell you how much of my Facebook feed was like, here's a picture of my trip to Paris in 2006. Apropos of, I guess, the cathedral burning, but...
Here's a picture of me in 1996 watching The Hunchback of Notre Dame, shitting my pants. Yeah, I don't. There's always. What's that?
I think they're supposed. I think they're like. I know they're doing all the live action Disney remakes. I think that they're still supposed to be doing. I think they're supposed to be doing a Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh my god! They should get Danny DeVito to be the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That'd be so epic.
That'd be funny. Maybe played by Jeff Goldblum.
Oh my god, that's a brilliant idea. Oh my, I don't believe I didn't even think of that.
Can I get a money printing machine, please?
Yeah, I don't. It's one of those things where there's the fine line between like, architecture like that does sort of, especially something that's so old that sort of stood the test of time for so long. And it's sort of a connection to the past in a sort of way. Like you do get that sort of visceral, like, oh my, I have a personal attachment to this. Like I saw it in person. Here's a picture of me, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't care that people post pictures of themselves. Yeah. See, like
for me, visiting the Notre Dame was visiting the outside of the parking lot of Nintendo Kyoto.
That was your own personal Notre Dame.
Yeah, basically. So if anything
Oh
ever
my
happens,
God. I don't believe Nintendo burnt down. Here's me on vacation.
Don't even joke about that.
Arguably more important.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I don't care. Like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, some people do make shit like solely about themselves, but also if someone wants to put up a picture of themselves on vacation, I don't see why that's a negative. You're talking about like people just finding things to get upset about and getting angry for no reason, and it's like, yeah, this feels like one way that people are just picking each other apart, where it's like, hey, something bad happened. Some people feel like it's, you know, some people do deserve to get shit on, you know, fuck them. Some people are just like looking for attention in the world.
Yeah, that's basically welcome to the internet. Random, epic. Also, welcome to the crane game store that I'm walking through. I don't know if you can hear.
What'd you say, a crying baby store?
No, the crane game, like the
crane game, because I heard what sounded like a small child.
No, that was
you.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
All right, we could probably do.
Yeah,
should we?
Starting getting people's way here. I'm feeling a little rude. So what's the punishment for this? Notre Dame vacation. People.
Well, since people are upset that people are putting pictures on Facebook and Twitter, I say we just burn down Facebook and Twitter.
Well, I got another one too. You have to look at all of my vacation pictures from my trip to Japan. I've been posting them a lot, and maybe too many of them, but you have to look at all of them on my Instagram story, and I will be checking to see if you've seen them. If you haven't, you're in big trouble, buddy.
I'm going to give you some time because that sounded really choppy.
It doesn't matter.
It sounded really distorted, but it also sounded hilarious. So I kind of hope that the audio gets really fucked up like that.
Whatever. If it survives, it survives. I'm not attached to that whatever anecdote that was. So,
should we talk about George Lucas, or should we just get on to some key to the city and some word of the week?
Let's wrap it up. I don't want to be, I don't want to be.
That's cool.
I hate to say his name in public, but Logan Paul. I'm even afraid to like say that loud enough because I don't want to be even closely associated with that level of complete idiocy.
It's like going to a Holocaust museum and saying Hitler's name too loud. You just don't want to do it. It's in bad taste.
It is.
Basically exactly the same thing. Yeah,
basically exactly the same.
So do you have a key to the city this week?
Okay, that literally was a crying baby that time.
Okay.
My fucking key to the city. Man, I'm trying to. I don't know.
If you want me to suggest one, since you're out there, famed anime and manga artist Monkey Punch.
Oh yeah.
Passed away.
Passed, creator of Lupin the Third passed, and I think
which I've never seen, and I would like to see it.
It's it's really popular here. There's like stuff for it all over the place. It's one of the more popular series here.
Yeah.
So and also I think the creator of manga Lone Wolf and Cub, I think passed away as well.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's old samurai series.
Huh.
But anyway, I guess I'll just use those two. What's yours?
I think mine this week, I spent a lot of time yesterday watching this sort of like 6-part YouTube documentary made by Beige Frequency about Anthony Cumia and his sort of like it's called like the Demented World of Anthony Cumia, and sort of like his downfall is like one of the funniest radio jockeys, from that sort of early 90s, early 2000s sort of time span. Someone I really thought was really funny for a long time, and you just sort of see the cracks in the wall and the psychosis of this guy. And this guy, Beige Frequency, made like 6-hour-long videos, and I spent all day watching them.
Really?
And it was fascinating as a fan of like the Opie and Anthony show, and like all of that shit, from
he's a bit of
a
a problematic figure, isn't he?
Yeah, they always had controversy, but he's definitely leaned into it in a very just awful way, in a very self-destructive way. Like, I don't know. It's fascinating. It's definitely watching that is definitely a great lesson in what not to do as a public personality,
Right.
Especially as someone like in radio, how not to deal with your fans, like how not to be a huge piece of shit.
That'd be. I hope I don't end up like that. I hope nobody makes a 6-hour-long documentary about my downfall.
About your fucking like domestic abuse and like possible pedophilia and like
God.
rampant racism and like
I don't want that.
It's categorized in such a brilliant like format. And a lot of YouTube documentaries like that aren't always necessarily great, but the guy did a really good job with it. So if you know anything about any of that shit, check it out. I think it's worth watching.
Cool.
And I'll leave the word of the week to you. There's probably a word that you got.
The word of the week is ganbare. It means good luck.
What's the word for podcast in Japanese?
Oh, it's podcasto, basically. Well, I'll go with that. Yeah, podcasto. Yeah, it's like PODDOKYASUTO. It's basically just, I don't know. That's kind of how words get brought over from English.
Yeah,
but
I love Japanese words that are just English words with like a Japanese accent on them.
It makes it easy for me. But yeah, because I was looking up I was trying to translate the word like podcast on my app, and it was like podcastito. I'm like, he's like, he like just looked confused. He didn't know what that was, and I'm like, oh God, what do I say here? So, like I said, didn't correct anybody's perceptions of how famous I may or may not be. So
you should have given people your business cards.
Oh, I did. I've been handing them out like candy.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we're not doing voicemails. Be a little too hard.
It's going to be a little
this week, so
too difficult to do any voicemails.
Thanks everybody for listening. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/thoughtcops. You can send me on more fun and exciting vacations, and maybe we could go on the road, do some shows. Once we get that under our belt with after the Asterios stuff. So
yeah, which again, I'll keep putting up links on the website thoughtcopspodcast.com.
Yeah,
just go on there. I'll link that I'll try and remember to link that every week up until we actually do that. So
I mean, it's
like August 22nd in Chicago.
It's gonna sell out for sure. I mean, just between like Asterios' friends and fans and our people like locally, it will sell out for sure. So make sure to get a ticket.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. I guess that's about it. Well, I will talk to you when I get home, I suppose.
All right. Thanks for calling in whilst walking through the cyberpunk Shinjuku district in Neo-Tokyo.
It really is, man. Like, it really is.
Do you got a red motorcycle?
I'm working on it, man. I mean, I would like to say that the closest equivalent I have to that is just the really fancy toilets here that have heated seats and 3 different kinds of bidets in them. Even
better. Who fucking needs a red motorcycle?
Right. I'd rather have water shut up my ass. All right. See you guys later.
Thanks for listening.
Cool. All right. Well, that was cool. I'm glad my guys have fit that in.
Can you imagine? You're like walking around and you think that nobody understands what you're saying, and like one person understands English, and they're like, "Huh?"
I did get a few looks, to be honest.
That's great.